The night is finally here. We are at the pinnacle of the Pride Festival. It is the Pride Parade. It is the night when the LGBTQ community come out and enjoy this fabulous parade. And We Are Auckland is right here. You've actually been quite the advocate of this parade.
Yes.
It went away, and
Yes.
then you were actually quite instrumental in helping bring it back.
Yeah, I mean, the reason that I did that is there are a lot of young people for which, in my view, they have mental health issues, they have depression, in part because they don't feel accepted. And I think a parade like this, celebrating the diversity, the LGBTI community, can help some of those young people.
Wonderful, wonderful. How does it make you feel to be a New Zealander and know that we have festivals like that actually do celebrate the LGBT community?
Oh look, that makes me feel really proud. We have been a very progressive nation, whether it's women getting the vote first, whether it's some of the homosexual law reform, but we have to continue to be progressive. And when we have festivals like this and we celebrate the diversity of our city and our country, that's a great thing and it's something to be proud of.
What about our Pacific neighbours?
Yes.
As far as Samoa,
Yeah.
We talk about Fiji, Tonga.
Yes.
These places are where it's still legal to be
Yeah.
homosexual. So how is the New Zealand government trying to advocate and encourage them to be a bit more, I suppose, positive when it comes to LGBTQ
Well, look,
issues?
when I was previously in government, I know that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and ministers raised issues of human rights with other Pacific neighbours, but that doesn't mean we don't need to do more. I think the question is how you make change, and sometimes the best way to do that can also be very grassroots, and so it's not just through politicians having meetings in Wellington with Pacific members of Parliament. It is also through people sending a message that we want to have change, we want people in our Pacific nations to feel accepted, to be able to have the same rights as other people have in New Zealand. And so I think that's part of the conversation, is not just leaving it to the politicians, but also saying how do you get that grassroots movement.
Okay. Is there more to do as far as, LGBTQ issues?
Absolutely. I mean, I think there are several areas where we do need to have change. We know that for transgender people in New Zealand, there's issues with surgery. We know that there are still young people that are being bullied in our schools. One of the things that I tried to do as Minister for Youth and Minister of Education is to ensure that we have more funding for our rainbow young people. So there's still a lot more to do, and I think we should just always continue to keep the foot on the accelerator and be progressive and ensure that every young person grows up in New Zealand can love who they want to love and feel accepted.
And we are here with Harry from the Royal New Zealand Navy.
That's correct.
I'm so glad I got that right.
Yeah.
Now, tell us, Harry, you guys have been here for a while, coming for a while?
Yeah, we've been attending since 2013. 2013 was our big year attending, so in every year since, apart from last year we didn't attend, but we've come back bigger and stronger this year, so almost twice as many as last year attending. First year we had 15 people marching, this year we have well over 100, which is it just shows the support we're getting from the wider Defence Force supporting the LGBTI community. It's great.
Wow. And how important is it to show diversity in the armed forces?
It's as important as any organisation. We are a slice of the wider community, and it's important to value everyone within your organisation. Everyone who is in any part of an organisation has value and shows value, and Defence Force recognises that, and that's why they're supporting us in such a strong force today. You'll see here with the people, we're having a flyover today from a C-130 Hercules. We've got the Air Force Band supporting us, so the support we're getting is absolutely, it's humbling, to be honest, from a
It must make you feel very, very proud as a New Zealander.
It does. As a New Zealander and as an employee of a big organisation, showing they have your back is very important.
Awesome. And I suppose, how do you see the LGBT community and their contribution in the armed forces. How do you see that?
Everyone is valued within defence, and that's just part of what this shows. So no matter, as I said earlier, no matter who you are, what colour you wear, you are a valued member of the Defence Force. So we're at that stage, hopefully, where it doesn't matter with any sort of dimension of diversity you're accepted for who you are, and that's just part of the diversity and inclusion sort of journey of any organisation, to be honest.
Do you find that to be the attitude worldwide in other defence forces?
I can't really comment on other defence forces and how they operate, but I know that we are leading the way. So in 2013, we didn't win, so we were graded the most inclusive military in the world from the Hague Centre of Strategic Studies, which is a think tank in The Hague, and we won. So it just goes to show how well we're doing. So compared to other organisations, as I said, I can't comment on them specifically, but I know that we're doing very, very well in that space.
Well, I'll tell you what, knowing that, it makes me feel very, very proud.
People
like you are out there and making changes and making it possible for anyone from anywhere to stand tall and stand proud.
Yeah, and that's an important thing, and thank you. So I think it's very important.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Thank you.
Just picking up on the marriage equality bill, have we come far enough as a society here in Aotearoa, or is there still some work to do?
Oh look, there's always more work to be done. For me it's like ka whawhai tonu mātou, struggle without end, because as soon as you think you've arrived somewhere, then we find another group in our society that's marginalised. Interesting conversations at the moment for me with our migrant community, issues to do with some religions, such as our Muslim religion, who don't think that LGBTI identities exist within that context. And I've had some young people just recently come and talk to me and say our LGBTI migrant youth need help. They're being kicked out of home. There is a lot of stigmatisation, discrimination. We still have 10 countries in the world where if you're LGBT, and most of them it's Sharia law, so it's Islamic faith, you can be killed, literally, stoned to death. 75 countries in the world where we're still criminals, and some of those in our Pacific communities like Samoa and Tonga, even though we have whakawhine and whakaleiti. So there's always more to be done.
Do you think attitudes towards LGBTQI community have come far enough?
Yeah, well, I think that we're getting there. It's definitely different, in the time that I've been alive, in my 38 years, it's changed. Has it changed enough? Not really. There's still our trans community that is still feeling marginalised, and there's plenty in our gay community as well, gay lesbian community, that still have to have the big drama when it's coming out day, to their friends, to their whānau. So one day that's not going to be a problem, and I look forward to that day. But until then, we have to make sure that we're still wrapping around and supporting our young ones, supporting our trans community out there, and anybody else who feels marginalised in this big, wide world that we're living in.
Globally, do you think we've come far enough in New Zealand compared to the rest of the world?
Ooh, there are some countries around the world where it's still illegal to be gay. And when you look at it like that, no, we haven't come far enough. There is a country, Uganda, that have had a bill going through their house called the Kill the Gays bill, and we've been seeing problems in Chechnya, even as close as Indonesia. They've been having issues.
So how proud does it make you feel being a New Zealander when we can kind of share events like this?
Oh, hugely proud, hugely proud. And when you actually have a look around and you see all of the community that have come together, politics, business. I even saw a gay police car driving up over there before, It's that one time that we all get to come together and celebrate. So for that reason, I'm stoked.
Being here in New Zealand, we're open, we're tolerant, we're loving, we're embracing. But what if your family is not tolerant, embracing? What if the community you belong to isn't tolerant and embracing? And I think what we've seen in our Christian community is because we've talked about it, Anglicans, Methodists, Protestants, Catholics, having those conversations, I think we've managed to integrate belief systems where you can be LGBT and you can still go to church. But I think in some of our, migrant communities, the heritage countries, massive challenges, and that's what I see in the future. Like, we have just under 50,000 Muslims in New Zealand now. It's a big and growing community. So these issues aren't going to go away. They're going to become a lot more complex, and we're going to have to be brave enough to have the conversations.
So how important is it to have events like the Big Gay Out?
It's incredibly important. Today is not just about HIV, that's the serious message that underpins it, but it's really an opportunity for the entire LGBTI community to come together, as well as their allies. It's a fun, festive event. It allows people to come together and really celebrate who we are, as well as talking about the challenges we have moving forward.
I'm really bummed out for your team, because I know a lot of effort has gone into preparing for today, but how disappointing is it?
It is absolutely gutting. The scale of the event is enormous. It takes months to pull together. It's an enormous team, not only of paid staff but also many volunteers. So really thank you to all of them. It is really disappointing, but look, the weather is the one thing that we can't control.
What were you guys looking forward to seeing the most here?
Possibly the acts or that sort of thing, the stalls, definitely.
Jacinda.
Chloe.
Yeah, Jacinda.
Everyone was wanting to see Jacinda. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, happy Pride.
Happy Pride, and it's great to be surrounded by such an awesome team. I've got Louisa Wall here with me, Grant Robertson, first Finance Minister at every March in Pride, so great to be here.
The Pride Parade has found favour with a lot of New Zealand MPs and past Prime Ministers. What are you doing here today?
I've marched, I'm pretty sure since I was first moved to Auckland. I love the Pride Parade. It's, it sends a really strong message that everyone should not only feel free to be who they are, but they should celebrate who they are. And the fact that we close our streets to do it once a year, I think is fantastic.
How important is it for Auckland to have festivals like this that celebrate the LGBT plus?
I don't think we can ever be complacent. We've got to think about the fact that we still have young people who, if they identify as LGBTQI, are still more likely to self-harm or suffer from mental health issues. So as much as this is a real scene of inclusiveness and celebration, there are a lot of young people who still don't feel that. So that's why these kinds of events are really important.
What's your government doing to encourage our neighbours, say in the Pacific, to be more inclusive of LGBTQ?
And it's a really important point, and that's an issue that we are pretty consistent about. Our LGBTIQ members of Parliament, in particular, both travel and advocate around those issues, so not just in the Pacific. Louisa has gone into some parts of the world where it's legislated that you can't be openly homosexual, and so that's something that we continue to advocate around.
Where are the areas where you see the LGBT community contributing the most?
Oh, look, that's probably the point, that our rainbow community as it stands contribute in every walk of life. And it's about saying that actually in some cases, some workplaces won't even know that they're contributing in every walk of life. Having diverse workplaces that also acknowledge that contribution is also incredibly important. Having groups like the number of corporates who are here today demonstrating the importance of that is fantastic. We need to make sure that spreads.
Must make you feel very proud to be a New Zealander when you can come to an event like this that celebrates diversity.
It does. It does make me feel very proud, but we can never be complacent. There's still more work for us to do in New Zealand as well, and that's important. Looks like we're on our way.
Happy Pride! I can't hear you! We're right in the heart of the Pride Festival, and as you can see, everyone is having an absolutely fabulous time. The gay community, the lesbian community, the LGBTQ community has come out in force, and what a spectacle they are providing us. So we are here at the Pride Pride Parade with the Dykes on Bikes. Ladies, happy Pride!
Happy Pride!
Tell us, you guys have had a huge history with the parade. You've been leading the parade since its conception. How important is it to carry that message of inclusiveness and diversity?
It's really important, and it's something that we're passionate about, and it's all over the world, not just in New Zealand.
So how important is it to have a festival like this that celebrates the LGBT community?
Oh, it's real important. Yeah, we want to celebrate ourselves. We want to celebrate the community. We need to be here. We need to be out and proud.
Exactly. As far as attitudes towards the LGBT community, are we at a good place, or can we do more?
I think we can always do more, but I think we're also at a good place. And I think I came out maybe 30 years ago, and when I came out, it was illegal for gay men to be, together. So things have come a long way since then. I know, now kids that are 12 or 13 that have come out. So, yeah, we're at a good place, but there's a long way to come as well, because there's still a lot of discrimination.
And here we are with the fabulous man himself, Grant. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Happy Pride.
Thank you. Yeah, it's brilliant. We'll just keep walking.
Yeah, we'll keep walking. Grant, look, how important is it for Auckland to have events like this that celebrate the LGBTQ community?
Oh, hugely, because I think it shows that we as a city and as a country that we include people, that we celebrate everybody for who they are. And the way in which the Auckland community embraces pride, I just love. It means that we're a really progressive country, one that's going to include people and give everyone a chance to be who they are. It's brilliant.
Yeah. What is your government doing to encourage our Pacific neighbours to be a bit more inclusive of LGBTQ communities?
Oh, look, I think every time that we get a chance on the world stage to celebrate diversity, to say that we, as a country, we want people to be who they are, I think that has an impact in our community, in our neighbourhood. And I know the Pacifica community here in New Zealand is really strong, getting more and more and more supportive and inclusive of the whole rainbow community. We can just continue to be part of that, and I think having the Prime Minister walk along in a Pride Parade is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fab. Now, what can we do to improve the lives of LGBT youngsters?
Yeah, look, I think it's one of the biggest issues we've got. We've got to make sure our schools are safe for everybody. Every school needs to be able to include the diversity of the students that are around. We've got to make sure every young person who needs it get access to mental health services, and early, before problems start to get worse. And we've got to have good role models who actually stand up and say, you can be who you are and I'm going to support you in your community. So right across the board, we can do that for young people.
Wonderful. And finally, how are you celebrating Pride this?
Well, look, I'm here, and actually I'm doing a DJ set down the road at Golden Dawn later. So that'll be my moment in the sun. Awesome. That's your exclusive.
Awesome. Happy Pride.
Cheers.
So we are here with Jackie and Delia. Hi, ladies.
Hi, Murdoch. Hi.
Now, we're here at the most fabulous night in the Pride Festival calendar. It is for the Pride Parade.
Yes.
You guys are actually from Auckland Transport and Auckland City Council. How important is it to have diversity in our city?
Exceptionally important. It makes the city rock. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I think it's the first time Auckland Transport is making such a strong stand, and I think it's fantastic that they're embracing diversity in Auckland. So we're a rather large organisation, and I'm really proud to be part of Auckland Transport. With the fact that they have embraced the Pride Parade to such an extent. It's fantastic, yeah.
Wonderful. Have you got many fabulous people? I mean, you guys are obviously fabulous, but have you got a lot of fabulous people with you tonight?
Of course we have. We all are. We're extraordinary people. There's a house full, a street full of talent from Auckland Transport here tonight.
Well, there we go. There we go. How many are your numbers? How strong are your numbers?
300. 300.
300.
Yeah.
And are they all like
so that's our whole family. So we've got CRL, we've got Auckland Transport, we've got Auckland Council. So there's just such a diverse group of people here tonight.
biggest, gayest events in Auckland tonight.
Yeah.
It's the Gay Pride
It is.
Parade.
Yeah.
So, happy Gay Pride.
And to you too.
Now, you guys are actually from an interesting organisation. Tell us a little bit more about the Gay Jews.
Gay Jews. Gosh, I'm a gay man, I'm a Jew, and we formed an organisation around Aotearoa, New Zealand, Jewish community, and our friends. And so we walk with our friends. Some are non-Jewish, and majority are.
What can we do? I mean, is there still work to do as far as attitudes towards LGBT
Yes.
plus people?
I think more education. Education is important to understand that we are all equal, no matter what we are. We can walk in the street and anyone can be a lawyer or a doctor, but at the same time we can be gays, and that's it. So education and sexual education, that especially with kids in schools, that they need to understand. We can be 14 years old and we can start to understand that we are gay, and we need to explain to kids that we respect even kids that are gay.
What does it say about New Zealand society? I mean, we've been the first in so many areas. First to give a woman to vote, gay marriage. How fabulous is that?
It's fabulous. Still a lot of work to be done though, here and overseas. Middle Eastern countries, gay men get chucked off buildings. It's as simple as that. They fall to their death. If they don't die, they're stoned to death. It's as simple as that. The trans community in America, horrific. Those women and men are murdered, on a weekly basis. The statistics are horrific. And under a Trump administration, I don't think it's going to get any better.
Well, hopefully there's going to be no throwing people off buildings or stoning people. It is Auckland Pride Festival tonight.
For real.
Happy Pride, guys.
Happy Pride,
Same to you
guys.
guys.
Same to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. It's important for us to show diversity in Auckland. What can we do to do more for the young people?
I think if we show the way, the older people show the way, then they should be able to see the example. And it should be done with love. Absolute love.
So, how long has Jurek been involved with the Big Gay Out?
Quite a few years. I know that we've been at least 7 years, so it's been a really integral part in our calendar, and we love obviously working with AIDS Foundation, like I said, but we'll be Pride Parade, and it'll be really fun to actually see everyone out cheering us on.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the stats. Sexually active people, are they still using condoms?
Yeah, we had our Jurek's Global Sex Survey last year in September actually, and we actually found that only 25% of sexually active people in New Zealand are using condoms. So there's a big penetration there of 75 people who are sexually active aren't using condoms, and as we know, that is the number one thing that will prevent you from not only pregnancy obviously, but STIs, HIV, that type of thing. So it's really important to keep the message going about condom use.
We're here with, what's your name?
Tori.
Tori, New Zealand Bears.
Yes.
Tell us about the New Zealand Bears.
So we're just a bunch of big hairy men.
Yeah?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the three of us are previous Mr. Bear New Zealand.
Okay, so we're here with
we had
past
a bit
winners.
of a fun competition.
You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, and we have our Mr. Bear 2018 on the truck.
Awesome. Now look, tell me, what is the main message behind being a bear?
It's really just a bunch of fun-loving guys who have common interests and just like to hang out, drink some beers.
Okay.
Yeah, it's for everyone. Well,
very inclusive.
It's for men.
It's for men.
Big hairy men.
Okay, so you can't be a bear and be a woman.
No, actually, I take that back. You can be a woman.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
we're inclusive.
We are here with a couple of the gentlemen from the New Zealand Fire Service, and wow, boys, looking hot tonight.
It is warm.
Feeling pretty damn warm.
Yeah. She is warm.
Look, how important is it for the New Zealand Fire Service to show diversity?
I think it's really important for society sort of to take on new roles and sort of realise that as society moves forward, also so do people, and actually come to accept that people have different views on things, and that look, love is love, choice is choice, and if that's what you want to be, then have fun and enjoy.
Yeah, the fire department have been great as well. People have come from all over the country, like from Whangarei, flowing up from Wellington. Yeah, so it's a big mix of people from everywhere.
Yeah. And how many years have you guys been doing this with the being part of the Pride?
This is our first year marching, but it's the second year that the fire department have had a float.
Awesome,
yeah.
Awesome. And I suppose how important is it to have festivals like this that celebrate the LGBT plus community?
I think it's really important to just not only for the LGBTI community, but just for everyone, because like everyone who comes and watches, like it just shows support and like, yeah, that love is love, and like it's not really a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of showing that, you know, obviously everyone out coming together and showing their support of, you know, the community that often has been marginalised in the past. So it's really good for everyone here to come out and show their support and show their love for everyone that's in Auckland and their friends and family, and yeah.
Yeah, it's so good seeing all the kids here and yeah, just families, and yeah.
Well, you guys look really great. Have a fabulous night and happy Pride.
Thank you. Happy
too.
Pride.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Tell us a bit about Diversity Works.
Yeah, sure. We're a national organisation, works across New Zealand with businesses, public and private sector. We help them to recognise the importance of diversity and inclusion all year round. So we get in there. Look at these guys. We get in there, and we're a small organisation, but we get in there and we help them to recognise diversity and inclusion is important for everybody, so they can bring their whole selves to work. Whatever it takes.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you.
Enjoy. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Fabulous, darling. Here we are.
Yeah.
It's the most fabulous night of the Pride Parade.
Yes.
Darling, look. How far have we come as far as attitudes towards the LGBT community?
We've come an amazing long way. We can go so much further. We should not rest until all of us are included in our communities.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what can the government do to be more encouraging of our Pacific neighbours that haven't got the same attitude as us?
We can lead by example. We can lead by example, and we can call out homophobia, attitudes against any person for who they are whenever we see it. Absolutely. Lead by example.
Awesome. Well, have a great Pride.
Loving
Happy
it.
Pride, darling.
Thank you. Mwah.
Thank you, lovely. That is it. Pride 2018. Thank you so much. What a fabulous event. I'm out of here. I'm about to go and party with some of these fabulous people. Make sure you do join us again on